लाइव है ना? So we are live. Sir, can you see Palkade sir? Swami sir? Can you see?
बता दीजिए आप क्या फ्रेम रख रहे हैं?
हाँ, Facebook, on Facebook.
ऑन फेसबुक लाइव है।
हाँ
लाइव है सर।
हाँ लाइव है ना? आपको दिख रहा है?
हाँ सर लाइव है।
लाइव है ना? आपको दिख रहा है क्या?
मेरे को दिख रहा है सर।
हाँ? And can you listen? Can you listen to me? लेकिन आपका आवाज क्यों कैच कर लिया उसने? हेलो, हाँ ठीक है। $47 व्यूज है क्या अभी? 47 लोगों ने
स्टार्ट कर दिया।
51 लोगों ने स्टार्ट कर दिया क्या?
अभी वो कर दिया, अनाउंस कर दीजिए।
नहीं वो रखो ना, वो निकालो मत। कितने लोगों ने ये करे? 79, 80, 81, $97, 103, 105, दिख रहा है सर? हाँ अभी ये कर दिया है। हेलो, हेलो, yeah, this, ma'am, I'm in a meeting right now. Anything urgent? Ma'am, please log into the Facebook, ma'am. Please. Ma'am, there is a link. Ma'am, we have already sent the link in the email. Ma'am, please check the emails, ma'am. Overproof flow.
Lot of delay. So long delay. बहुत delay है। कितना delay है? बहुत delay है। कितना delay चल रहा है?
7 सेकंड का डिले चल रहा है।
7 to 8 seconds.
8 सेकंड।
8 seconds.
तो ठीक है ना? तो इट्स फाइन ना? नहीं।
8 seconds.
हाँ इतना we have to take care of it. ठीक है? Then we can take care of that. हाँ वो तो होगा, उतना तो डिले होगा. We are fine with that delay. 5 Mbps का स्पीड मिल रहा है. कितने लोग ज्वाइन कर गए? गुंजन, कितने लोग ज्वाइन कर गए?
170.
हाँ हे बघा इतका डिले आहे. Oh, that's okay. We are fine with delay. We are not worried about it. If it has to be only clear, there will be 6-7 seconds kind of a delay, 8-10 seconds kind of a delay because of the relay. We understand that. है ये देखो 12 seconds है ना? ओके ठीक है. I will take questions over. I will. Facebook. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes. Hello. So, I think, hey, Munjal, how many people have joined? 180? Okay. 180. My college friends, just if you can hear us and see us clearly, just let us know. Just comment on the section. 319. 319 people have joined. Okay. So I think we will have many more joining. So please start commenting so that we can check. Only comment if you are not able to hear or see us. Don't comment if you can hear or see us. That's okay. We are expected. You know, everyone is expected to do that. Okay. Why it's catching your sound? अभी भी आपका नॉइज क्यों कैच कर रहा है ये?
सर बिकॉज ये जो बोल रहे हैं बूम के नजदीक है, तो बूम वो कैच करेगा तो बट ऑब्वियस कैच कर लेगा.
ओके, ठीक है.
इनका नहीं कैच करेगा.
इनका नहीं कैच करेगा.
अभी मेरा भी कैच करेगा क्योंकि मेरा वॉइस ज्यादा है, बूम कैच कर रहा है.
ओके ओके.
अभी ये जो बाहर का साउंड है ना,
ओके. सर कितनी है कमेंट्स? No comments now? So everyone can hear us? If you understand correctly, because we have not got comments. But then you will have 500 comments. Okay. Now just start commenting so that we can test that you can receive our comments. We can receive your comments also. So if you hear, please start. Plenty of them are coming now? Okay. Audio and video is clear. Okay. Great, great.
Audio is clear.
456 live. Okay. We want a couple of thousand. So out of 456, maybe 5, 6, 10 are here only. 5, 6. करने का, अभी कंटिन्यूसली करने का। Audio is not clear, sir? No, because nobody is there now, right now. If I go from here, so hello, hello. Now, sir, you will hear it very clearly. It's very clear. Audio is clear, sir. No issues. Yeah, only lag is a problem, but we will. So you have done a great job. Lag is a problem, but that is going to happen. About 6-7 seconds of lag, about 10 seconds of lag. No, it depends upon your connection also. It will depend upon your connection also. If it's a wire connection, then there will be less lag. Because for his, I think it's about 6, 7, 8 seconds. 8 seconds. So it will depend upon your connection also. So everyone will have a different kind of lag, depending upon the speed of the connection. Actually at their end.
These keys were found lying there. If anybody has lost, please collect these keys. I guess these are the bike keys. So अगर किसी की खो गई है तो please आप यहाँ से ले लो.
How many have joined?
700.
More than 700? So that's the reason I said we can test it for 5 more minutes and about 1,000 people will certainly, 1,000 colleges will certainly come. 7:31. वहीं पे बोल रहा
Stable है क्या? Yes, sir, stable. We have checked. It's stable. It is stable. We shift it to that. Hello. Here also Wi-Fi is there. No. Can we shift it to that? Yes, sir. No problem. I'll get it. Yes, sir. Can we shift it to after that? Then in that case, you should make an announcement and then do it. No, sir. That is not on our listing. This live or there.
Hey, Prathamesh, you want live input from here?
No. There is no.
You want wire connection from here?
No.
Not required.
That will not get disconnected. That is our complete Wi-Fi. Hey, I am receiving many start fast. They are already ready. Why are you delaying? Start.
Wait, 1 minute.
Already 7:80.
No. But the thing is that we need to ask, we need to take questions now. So, shall we shift to the new network? So that, yeah, so go ahead and shift.
How much time does it take?
It's not taking wire, doing the wire.
Okay. Okay.
Ray, start करो यार, please start. How close is Ray?
इसके कैमरे में
I request you all to be seated, and in the next 2 minutes we all are gonna start. So please log into your devices and be ready for this launch. Good afternoon, namaste, sat sri akal, salam. Hello and hi. I, Harshit Chopra, on behalf of the All India Council of Technical Education, invite our Chairman Professor Anil Sahasrabuddhe, my colleagues and various institutions for the first of its kind AICTE's initiative, India's Idea Leadership Talk Series. Through these series, we are giving you an opportunity to listen to the best of the thought leaders in India or across the globe and interact with them or ask questions, your doubts or any of the queries using the social media platform like Facebook or Twitter. Today is the inaugural talk of the India's Idea Leadership Talk series, and soon our chairman AICTE Professor Anil Sahasrabuddhe will deliver the talk. But before the Chairman Sahab begins, I request Dr. Siddhalinga Swami, Director AICTE, to come here and give you all some instructions on the format of the talk and how colleges are expected to respond. So may I call upon Dr. Siddhalinga Swami to take over the podium. So,
good afternoon to one and all for this first ever Smart India Hackathon 2017 program. Once again, on behalf of All India Council for Technical Education, I welcome all the viewers on the Facebook for this great nation building initiative from the All India Council for Technical Education in association with many ministries of Government of India and also the different departments from the Government of India. Just I'll give some instructions how one can participate in this Smart India Hackathon program. First, all the principals or directors of the institutions who are willing to participate in this Smart India Hackathon program are requested to nominate one young IT background faculty member from your institution as the SPOC. He will going to be the nodal point or the contact person for all the activities of your institution with All India Council for Technical Education in connection with the Smart India Hackathon 2017 program. That is the first step as far as the institution principal and director need to do. Once the SPOC is designated, he has to make a registration. Already that registration, how we can register and all information is available on www.aicte-india.org website. So there is a separate Smart India Hackathon tab. One will visit that one, so we'll get all the information. So how one can register and how we can proceed, and all the information and updates in connection with the Smart India Hackathon will be announced through that. And also through our AICTE website, one can visit mygov.india, so where the main announcement in connection with the Smart India and also the problem statements and other things will be announced there, and also the updates one can see. The second step is the SPOC who is responsible for the institution activities has to at least identify 3 best programs from his institution in connection with the Smart India Hackathon in the form of entries, and that he has to make. The next step is he has to identify the students who can able to create awareness among his friend circle, and also the faculty members who can create awareness about this particular program in the institution. And the SPOC, he is responsible for arranging the program at institution level. So in connection with the Smart India Hackathon, and at least 2 photographs of the program arranged at the institution level should be uploaded on this Facebook, so that the other institution also will get motivated how one can participate and also can contribute in this great nation building initiative. With this and any other updates in connection with the Smart India Hackathon and also the related to the participation and other information will be updated from time to time and all the institutions will get email communication and also SMS communication. In this respect, from time to time, accordingly, we request all the institutions and also the heads of the institutions and especially the SPOC who will going to be nominated from each institution to participate in a very active and in an enthusiastic manner in this great nation building initiative activity. Now, the first inaugural talk under this particular program will be given by none other than our beloved Honorable Chairman, All India Council for Technical Education, Professor Anil D. Sahasrabuddhe ji. I welcome our Honorable Chairman Sir to deliver the first talk under this series.
A very good afternoon to all of you, all the students, all the colleges, faculty members who are watching this from all across the country. I heard the count is already crossed 1,000, and I really welcome all of you for this first ever Leadership Talk series as a part of Smart India Hackathon 2017. We often talk, देश बदल रहा है, AICTE अपना योगदान दे रहा है, देश के उन्नति के लिए AICTE वचनबद्ध है. I appeal to all of you that AICTE has launched this program for a big transformation that is happening in this country today. This Leadership Talk series is the first of its kind, and we would like to invite thought leaders of this country to address all the students of this country, in particular technical education institutions, under which AICTE has its own domain of love, affection, control, whatever you say. AICTE, some of you may not be aware, is an All India Council for Technical Education, which was established by an Act of Parliament in 1987, and all the technical educational institutions in the country have to take approval of AICTE. So it was more known for a regulatory body for giving approvals. But of late, there has been often a talk about one of the very important AICTE review committees, which was called as Cow Committee Report, which talked about giving major thrust and role to AICTE for facilitating, for giving good quality education. If you look back, at the time of independence, there were not even 100 technical colleges and hardly 25 universities in this country. But over the last around 7 decades, the quantum of number of institutions has increased nearly 100-fold. And it's a big transformation which has happened. All along, Government of India has been talking about 3 important things: access, equity, and quality. We want to provide access of higher education to as many people as possible in the country. Also have equity so that all sections of the society enjoy the fruits of higher education. And most importantly, there must be quality education so that students graduating from these institutions will get excellent jobs, they will become excellent leaders, they will become excellent entrepreneurs, and they will show the way for the next generation. However, what we observed was, while access and equity to a great extent has been achieved, when it comes to quality, there are lots of question marks. And therefore, this is a very important initiative which will try to empower quality to our technical institutions, give quality education to our students, thereby their lives will become better. In the process, their families will improve in the hierarchy of education as well as prosperity. That in turn will also show prosperity for the society and the nation at large. And with this objective in mind, this very important initiative called as Smart India Hackathon 2017 was launched based on the experiment which we did in Pune last year. This is one of the largest hackathons, probably will be turned around as a digital movement, a digital revolution in this country. I think AICTE on its part has been doing many other activities as well,
I would like to briefly touch upon a few of those initiatives as well. But first and the most important thing, our country today is one of the second largest population countries in the world with 1.25 billion population, of which 50% of the population is less than 25 years of age. And that is why quite often we use the terminology that we are going to have demographic dividend. This demographic dividend will come through only if quality of education is good, our students get the best possible inputs, their output is very good, only then demographic dividend is possible. And that is why various initiatives were required. Today we stand at 24.5% of the gross enrollment ratio, and the objective is to reach 30% by 2020. Given the fact that the way we have moved ahead in the last 1 decade, it is not difficult to achieve gross enrollment ratio of 30%. In fact, society probably wants even more, maybe 40%, maybe 50%, and someday, like any developed country, we would also like to have GER of 60%, 70%. But what is significant and important is just not increasing GER, but GER with good quality. Skill development amongst the students is very, very important and significant. And therefore, if you look at some of the initiatives which have been announced by the government, whether it is Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Digital India, Smart Cities, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, Skill India, Make in India, Startup India, as well as Aadhaar-based direct beneficiary transfer of scholarships. Very recently, what we saw of demonetization and in fact leading to digital transactions, making India absolutely corruption-free. I think there are all these challenges which have to be addressed. What better location it could be other than technical education system which can empower the entire country. In fact, if you look at the gross enrollment ratio of 24.5%, which is 3.3 crore students in the higher education sector, 1/4 of them are in the technical education system. And therefore, a very great responsibility lies on the AICTE to address the issues which we have been talking about. So two important things which AICTE has been following in the last couple of years is to have as many institutions with autonomy as possible, support autonomy to a great extent, thereby quality of education in terms of excellent curricula as per the needs of the industry, as per the needs of the society in the neighborhood can be possible through these autonomous institutions. We are also talking about asking the colleges to get accredited, thereby as on the basis of National Board of Accreditation, an institution which gets accredited will have the same status of getting education in the same way as in all the signatory countries of the Washington Accord. That means a student who completes his education from a college where the college is accredited by National Board of Accreditation, that degree will be recognized as an equivalent degree in all the countries, especially the advanced countries who are all signatories to the Washington Accord, maybe whether it is US, Canada, Australia, Germany, France, Japan, and therefore it becomes very important for all the technical institutions to get themselves accredited through National Board of Accreditation. In order to inspire, engage institutions to get accreditation as well as to become autonomous, AICTE on its part has been doing certain important changes in its approval process, that of permitting approval for multiple number of years if an institution has got accreditation or if it has got autonomy. And this will certainly encourage colleges and institutions to apply for autonomy, to get accredited and get the advantage of multiple years of approval. What it entails is you do not have to worry about applying for approval on an annual basis. You do not have to pay the fee which is charged every year, you get these benefits out of this. And that's why many institutions will be applying for autonomy as well as accreditation. The third important initiative which has been undertaken since last year is having our own ranking framework, which is called as National Institutional Ranking Framework. Now this year it is the second year of its ranking system. The ranking will be announced in the first week of April, like in the last year. And what it entails is those institutions who are performing well will be provided more and more autonomy in terms of their engagements. And this will empower those institutions better than what they are having today. Why it is important from another aspect is, most of the times we lament that none of our institutions or universities appear in the global top 100 ranking. Once in a while, an institution like Indian Institute of Science or one of the IITs will appear within the top 200 institutions, and we feel happy about it. Therefore, the Government of India has also thought of engaging with good universities, good institutions, support them in the best possible manner, and in the next couple of years, maybe 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, at least 10 government institutions and 10 private institutions start appearing globally within the top 100. And this National Institutional Ranking Framework will probably pave way for engaging in competition, whereby our institutions will start improving year after year, and maybe in a matter of 1 or 2 years to 5 years, some institutions will start appearing globally within the top 100 institutions. Apart from autonomy, accreditation and ranking, 4 important schemes which were announced last year also make a very significant impact on the quality of education that the students are getting. Number 1, most often our industry bodies like NASSCOM, CII, as well as several surveys used to indicate that only 25% of our graduates are employable. And that was a big challenge for all the institutions, including the regulatory bodies like AICTE. How do we improve this? And therefore, industry-institute interaction is very significant. Industry personnel engaging in revising the curricula such that curricula are relevant to the industry. Some of the industry personnel coming to the institutions and taking actual classes, engaging students in internships, calling them to their industries and giving them support for about a couple of months and training them. I think these are initiatives which are very important. Plus, in the last 2-3 years, central government has announced that mandatory corporate social responsibility fund of about 2% of their profit to be put in for the social responsibility of the corporate world. Why can't they use this money for improving the better quality education in the technical institutions by providing excellent quality labs, providing centers of excellence, and also engaging with the students and faculty of these institutions. And that is how, with the important scheme which is called as Adjunct Faculty Scheme, AICTE decided that out of the required number of faculty members, 80% of the faculty could be regular faculty, while 20% of the faculty were allowed to be engaged as adjunct faculty from industry. They may not have the required MTech PhD qualification, but with a just undergraduate degree as well, if they have put in a service of 10 to 15 years, 20 years in an industry, did a lot of innovative work there, their experience can be brought to the classrooms, thereby students will get the best quality knowledge of the industry right into the classrooms. So this is the adjunct faculty scheme which we talked about. Apart from this, we also said we should have best quality teachers in our institutions, and quite often we say that a person who has just completed his master's, if he doesn't get any job, he applies for a teaching job. In order to overcome that practice and to create interest amongst young bright students to come to the teaching profession, AICTE has announced a program called as Trainee Teacher Scheme, under which a college, if it identifies and spots a young bright undergraduate student, they can offer him a guaranteed job after he completes his 2 years of MTech, send him for doing master's degree, and along with the normal GATE scholarship which he is anyway entitled to, AICTE is willing to give additional 5,000 rupees per month as special scholarship. Thereby, after completing, he will have to come back and start teaching in an institution. So there would be probably a bond to be signed so that he will come back to the college and give his best talent which is available for the next generation of students. We also have another scheme called as mentorship scheme, under which an excellent, well-performing institution should not only be happy about being good, but we want that such institutions should act as a hub and help about 7 to 8 to 10 institutions which are treated as spokes to come up just like how these institutions have come up. And therefore we want that a funding, if necessary, would be provided by AICTE for well-performing institutions, that is, those institutions which I said earlier ranked top amongst top 100 institutions in the country, maybe those who are autonomous, those who have got excellent accreditation for 5 years. Such institutions can apply for funding and commit themselves to help another 10 institutions in their neighborhood to come up just like how they have come up and improve the quality of education. We have another important program which we have started, which is called as Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, which is a national initiative. And what we say is, a student, unless he looks at the problems in and around in the society, he will not be sensitized by just theoretically talking to him about what he needs to be doing later in his life. So if the students are sent to a rural area, an underprivileged area, he will realize that in a vast country of 1.25 million population, he is one of the luckiest lot who has got such good quality education, and how after his education he can contribute in turn to the society, societal development, and therefore he gets sensitized by going there. Second important thing which happens is, having spent some time in that area, he will be able to spot some of the important challenging problems that are there in the rural areas, whether it is as a part of activity like NSS or Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, or even as a final year project. Some students would probably solve the problem of the villages, of the rural areas, whether it is in terms of energy, whether it is in terms of cleanliness, hygiene, whether it is in terms of education, whether it is in terms of health, and so on. And therefore, these important initiatives which have been taken by AICTE in the last year will pave way for becoming a better nation in the years to come. We have another great initiative which has been handed over by the Ministry of HRD to AICTE to develop an indigenous Swayam portal, which is a MOOCs portal for giving education to anyone, anywhere, anytime, on any device for our entire countrymen. And this portal is already ready. The first phase is already launched. More than 216 courses are available live for students to take from out of this. There is also a provision which is made by both University Grants Commission and AICTE that 20% of the courses of the curriculum could be taken in the form of MOOCs. That means if there are 10 subjects to be taken in 1 year, 20%, which means 2 subjects, could be taken in the form of MOOCs from any professor other than from your own institution, from the best possible institution in the country. The MOOCs courses are such that they are being given by those faculty who have been identified as some of the best teachers of the country, and therefore a student sitting in a remote place, whether it is in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, he can take a course offered by a professor from IIT Delhi, IIT Kanpur or IIT Bombay. I think this is a great phenomenon which is going to happen, and this can be also part of the credit, thereby it will get accredited into his transcript, and he can claim that part of his curriculum was done from a very excellent institution, learned from an excellent professor, and this is also possible. We also have very recently announced a very important policy called as Student Startup Policy of AICTE. Our country has announced the Startup India, Stand Up India, and in line with that, AICTE has come up with a startup policy. Those who are interested can look at this policy from our website. But simply put in simple words, any institution which is interested in encouraging startups and the university which is interested in this can create a framework based on the startup policy in order to provide electives, courses in the area of entrepreneurship, business management, it could be startup funds, it could be innovation. Such courses can be offered by the colleges and universities apart from the regular courses. Another area possible is some students who are more interested in entrepreneurship and startups can take a parallel track, and instead of taking the normal all engineering courses, he can be waived from some of the engineering courses, and leave of that, one can take these courses and can get a startup degree itself from an institution. I think this is a big change which is likely to happen. It is often said that startups are not happening so much in India, but for your information, recent statistics shows that India is almost #2 destination of startups. And if this policy of AICTE, which has envisioned that out of those 10,000 colleges which are affiliated or which are part of AICTE system, even if 1/10 of them, that means 1,000 colleges, create a startup culture in their colleges and have 10 startups a year, in the next 10 years we will have 100,000 startups, and each of these startups, even if they employ as less as 10 people, 1 million jobs will be created from the portals of our own educational institutions. And if some of them become big, they can employ probably hundreds and thousands. I think the employability issue which we have been often talking about will be solved forever. And this would be a big ticket change which is likely to happen. This startup policy of AICTE was recently launched by the Honorable President on November 16th from the Rashtrapati Bhavan during the Visitors Conference. Now coming back to the topic, Smart India Hackathon 2017 is another initiative which is going to create a digital revolution in this country. What we did is, we announced this program called as Smart India Hackathon. MHRD fully supported and endorsed this for us and wrote letters to all the ministries, and we are very happy that nearly 28 departments of the Government of India and the ministries have come forward in its support. They have given problem statements. The total number of problem statements now have reached 583. They are starting from very simple problems to some of them are very complex problems. These are problems which each day, each in and day out, these departments are facing, which are creating difficulties for our citizenry. And if our young talented students, if they solve some of these problems, the life of our citizens will be that much easier and better and happier. And with this in objective, we have thrown open all these problems in the form of a hackathon. A little while later, after this, my talk is over, there will be a talk by Dr. Abhay Jere, who is the organizing secretary of this hackathon, about how we are going to conduct this hackathon, what you are expected to do, and I think that would be a great learning lesson for all of us who have seen hackathons in small numbers, but this is going to be the world's largest hackathon where lakhs of students are going to apply, tens of thousands of students will be shortlisted, thousands of students will be going to 25 different destinations and solve the problems of the nation digitally and feel that not only they get empowered, but they are participating in the empowerment of this nation as well. I think this is very, very significant and important. I've just noted down yesterday the list of problems that are given by different departments. Airport Authority has given 43. AICTE itself has thrown open 15 problem statements. Atomic Energy 16. Biotechnology Department 17. Industry and Commerce Department 8. Post and Communications 11. Defense 29. Ministry of Empowerment 7. Rural Development Ministry 25. DST 9. ICMR 28. ISRO has the largest chunk of problems, 53. Ayush 15. Donor Ministry 11. Earth Sciences 30. MITI 21. Ministry of Environment and Forests 28. Ministry of External Affairs 18. Food Processing 15. Human Resource Development, our own ministry 21. Railways 31. Skill Development Ministry 28. Ministry of Steel 31. Tourism Ministry 21. Child Rights 19. Students' Voice 1. University Grants Commission 20. Now if you look at it, 28 different departments, problems ranging, statements ranging from 3, 5, 10 to as many as 53. I think this is a very, very, very important initiative whereby the problems faced by different government departments in order that they can provide better services to its citizens would be solved by our young talented students. And therefore, my appeal to all the students who are watching this program, the faculty mentors who are watching this program, that you must select at least 3 teams from each of these areas and then send those applications online on the portal of mygov.in portal, where all this information is already available. There is a link from AICTE website as well, and if you apply, we will start the process of then shortlisting, calling students to the centers where actual hackathon is going to take place in the month of March. I think this is what we are trying to do. Now let me tell something else. If you go back in history, I was looking at the GDP of different nations of the world up to the era of 1500 AD. India and China together contributed 50% of the world's GDP. 50%, each one 25%. Prior to 1500, India was higher than China, in fact. And we became equal in the year 1500, contributing to 25% of the GDP, China contributing to 25% of the GDP. Subsequently, by 1600, 1700, we both started falling down, and very lately, China is again rising, and it is now our part to rise and have higher GDP, which is hardly not even 4 to 5% of the global, whatever GDP contribution is there. Our contribution is as less as that. Whereas at one time we were 30% of the global GDP. With the population which is 1/6 of the population, our GDP also at least should be 1/6 of the world. And therefore, I think whatever we are doing today is going to empower the nation, and therefore it is very significant. Again, if you look back, what was the system that prevailed prior to 1500? We had the technical education system as well as the general education system in the form of gurukuls, whether it was University of Takshila, University of Nalanda. We had residential universities. Today we say that the universities have to be residential if we have to excel. We talked about hands-on work. There was experiential learning in these universities. learning to learn. Students were together doing the tasks, teamwork, collaborative learning. All this existed 1500 years ago and prior to that. And now we are reinventing the wheel by looking again at the West when they talk about employability issues, need of hard skills, soft skills, ability to solve the problems, analytical thinking, critical thinking, sensitization towards environment, towards society, towards physically challenged, towards weaker sections, honesty, integrity, working in teams, management of time, collaborative learning. I think all of this was happening earlier, but we forgot sometime down the line, and again we are picking up the threads from there. And therefore, newer ways of teaching learning has come in place. The pedagogy is changing. Today, what we call as flipped classrooms are becoming more and more popular. A student is not willing to sit in a class for 50 minutes or 1 hour, and therefore, this model of flipped classroom, the very word flipped stands for, earlier we used to have lectures in the class and the assignments were given for solving problems at home. Collectively we were sitting in the class and individually we were solving the assignments at home. In the flipped model, exactly the opposite. You learn on your own from the MOOCs or the internet, from wherever the knowledge is available, in your room individually, come to the class and solve the problem collectively. So exactly the opposite thing is happening, which is called as the flipped classroom. And we must all be geared for this. Students would certainly, wherever this has happened, enjoyed this. It is the task and duty of the teachers to understand this new phenomenon and start participating in what is known as flipped mode of classroom teaching, learning. One more important thing which we talk about is learning at one space. Why should degree be done in 4 years? Maybe someone who is bright should be able to complete early. Someone who is not so bright or someone takes little longer time can do it little longer. How does it matter? We must encourage both sides. We also should encourage learning along with peers, project-based learning and so on. And for doing all this, we need support both from our faculty, our administration, principals, universities, vice chancellors, industry, alumni, all of us, if we put together our heads and brains, I am sure that we will be able to achieve this. Now lastly, I would like to talk about Industry 4.0, which is being talked about in industry circles, and similarly in the education era, today we are talking of Education 3.0. In fact, in my opinion, we should also catch up and say Education 4.0, and that is the place where we are. Industry 1 was after Industrial Revolution. There was mechanization which came in place. Industry 2 was mass production. In Industry 3 it was automation, and Industry 4 it is customized mass production with Internet of Things. When it comes to Education 1, it was one-way classroom delivery of classes. Education 2 was our web-based, internet-based education, digital education. Education 3 now is going to be a customized one. A student need not take all the courses which are fixed, but will have opportunity to take electives of his choice, have the courses which he likes, which he is interested in following up in the life later, choose them, learn them from anywhere, from the best of the teachers, anytime, from any device, and that is what is called as customized learning, which is going to be Education 3.0. I think we are there. There are hundreds of challenges, but some of the challenges which the entire globe is facing, nation is facing, all our rural areas, city areas are facing, they include water, food security, housing, energy, transport, cyber security, health for all, defense, space, education, employment, skill development, entrepreneurship and innovation. I think this particular Smart India Hackathon probably has all the problems of these areas, and if we are able to solve even 20% of them this year and take up further as our BTech projects, MTech projects, research projects, I am sure that in a couple of years' time, we will be solving all the problems that the nation is facing today. And I'm sure the young generation should note that never ever before you had such grand opportunities, because there are large challenges. So when there are challenges, there are great opportunities. And it is your call, your take to take these challenges, convert them into opportunities, solve the problems. Some of you can then interact with that government department to solve those problems further. Some of you can become entrepreneurs and have your own startups. Some of you can lead as leaders. I think together we can make this nation proud of all of you. And this opportunity we must take, and again take the place of our nation as Jagat Guru, which was once called as Jagat Guru. We should again retain that statement place. With these few words I conclude, and if there are any questions, I hope already questions are coming up. We will have some announcements, followed by some question answers, interactions, and your suggestions are most welcome, not only on this talk, but whom do you expect to talk to you later, and we will try our best to get that person, that personality in front of you in a similar manner sometime later. I hope you keep enjoying this Leadership Talk series in future. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, my dear friends. We are continuously monitoring the comments which we are getting from different colleges, from our colleagues, and many colleges have said, or many comments we have received, saying that the audio is not clear. From our end, the audio is clear. I think you need to check the connection at your side, especially the bandwidth, because your bandwidth is going to determine what is your audio quality, what is your video quality, and if the bandwidth is low, then there will be a lot of buffering kind of an issues. So for the next time, because from here we have tested it multiple times and we are continuously live testing it, so the audio is very, very clear from the output side. So please check at your end, especially the network speed. First. Second, we will be actually, as Sahasrabuddhe sir said, we will be taking live questions. But before taking live questions, I would like to make few small announcements. The first announcement, as Swami sir said, that every college need to appoint a SPOC for this initiative and actually communicate with us what are the facilities at their end, and we will actually help them how to go about it, so that from next talk the things will be very clear. Second thing, the SPOC needs to update that information in the Google Sheet which we have circulated. So one Google Doc we have already circulated to all principals, and information related to the SPOC should be entered into that. Third, most important thing is that as this India's Ideal Leadership Talk series is part of Smart India Hackathon initiative, we expect SPOCs to work with the students and at least submit 3 entries per institution. Fourth, we will be taking feedback, and I know you will certainly have some feedbacks related to technology, related to content, but we will also like to have feedback related to what kind of speakers you would like to see. We will try to approach best of the speakers. Professor Sahasrabuddhe was saying that we should get people like Sachin Tendulkar, people like Amitabh Bachchan, or Ashok Jhunjhunwala, or Vishwanathan Anand, Ajit Doval to actually speak to you all. And we are going to try that through this Leadership Talk series. In future, you will listen to one of the best speakers in India. That's what Professor Sahasrabuddhe's vision is. And that was the reason we actually wanted to do this first testing. And he wanted to lay out the vision of this entire India's Idea Leadership Talk series. So, we will now start taking questions. We request you not to make abusive statements in the comment section. Just ask questions which we can go ahead and address, and that's where the interaction will start. After Sahasrabudhe sir's question, I will actually talk about Smart India Hackathon initiative, what is expected out of it, what hackathon means, and how together we can change the nation. Thank you very much. So we will start taking questions now. So may I request Sahasrabudhe sir to be here? And if we start getting questions, we will start taking it now.
So one of the comments has been sound not clear, audibility. I think Dr. Chere has already pointed out that colleges should have a higher bandwidth, and the AICTE has increased the requirement of bandwidth. I hope all the institutions will follow that, thereby the quality of audibility or video will be much better in the next round. There is likelihood of Honorable Minister also speaking to all of you in the next week. We are trying to get the best possible national personalities who are the icons in this country to speak to you straight. And this would be one of the finest series which is going to start happening from now on. Any question?
So the first question was regarding the Farm D program. When we will have something on the Farm D program. Farm D.
जो स्पोर्ट पर्सन होता है ना उसको खुद में लगना चाहिए उसकी बात नहीं सकता
How many
Hello. As far as the number of centers which you are asking for, there would be 25 centers where parallelly 36-hour-long hackathon is going to take place. And these 25 centers we are going to distribute probably one in one state, one in each state, so that we have complete distribution of areas where we are going to have this hackathon. Most probably they will be the state capitals or one of the major cities where facilities for 400, 500 students, for accommodation, for number of computers to have hackathon being handled, we will select such centers. Now as far as can we go to the nearest center, probably that is not going to be possible, for a simple reason that these centers would be selected in such a manner that suppose the problem statement of railways, they have given 25 problems. The railway problem statement will be handled in, say, center like Lucknow. There may be a information technology, IT center would be probably, say, in Hyderabad or Bangalore. So all the students who are solving problem of that discipline, they will be in one single location, and therefore you may have to travel from one place to the other place to the center, which is not necessarily the nearest, but based on the problem for which you are shortlisted and where that center is located, you will have to go there. However, we are trying to provide travel assistance to students so that they will be able to travel there, make new friends wherever they go, solve the problems by 36-hour-long challenge, and those whose problem statements are solved in an excellent possible manner, for them there are prizes. First prize is 1 lakh, second prize is 75,000, the third prize is 50,000. Each center there will be 3 such prizes. I think it's a big money which is available in the form of prizes. But what is more important is not the prizes. What is important is you should feel proud that you have been able to solve one of the problems of one of the ministries of the government, and thereby the life of one common person somewhere in the village has improved. That should be the satisfaction, and therefore whether you win the prize or not, you should be happy about its participation and giving your contribution to this particular initiative.
Hello. Sir, the next question is, where are the problem statements available? How can they get the access to the problem statements?
These problem statements, I have already announced in the beginning that they are available on the mygov.in website.
Innovate.
It is called innovate.mygov.in. But if you go to mygov site, you can find out that, but you can straight away go to innovate.mygov.in. We will announce it through the emails to all the colleges also. And please ask your teachers, your principal to support you in this initiative. Form 3 teams at least from your institution. Apply online to innovate.mygov.in. There will be testing of your idea. Those who are selected, they will go ahead, and finally you will be called to one of those 25 centers for actually having hackathon over there in the month of March.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So the next question is whether there is a move by AICTE to start engineering education in vernacular languages.
AICTE does not start any technical institution on its own. It is only the organizations, whether it is government or self-financed institutions, who come forward and apply for permission for starting an engineering college or a technical college. So if anyone comes forward for starting an institution in a vernacular language, AICTE has no objection. We will only see that whether the facilities which are required are satisfied, they are available, then we will give the approval. That means the sufficient land, building, the requirements like computers, textbooks, faculty to teach in that language. If everything is available, AICTE has no problem in giving approval to give up for any vernacular language as well.
Sir, one more question is, they want the clarity on the adjunct faculty, the rules, qualification, etc.
For adjunct faculty, as I said, they must be having at least 10 to 15 years of experience in the industry. Such faculty are allowed to come and teach in the engineering schools based on their experience in the relevant subjects or the courses. Now, identification of this is rested with the administration of the institution, the heads of the department, the faculty. They must look for people who have good experience, who will be able to contribute towards education, invite them to your institution, and they will be able to teach in your institution as adjunct faculty. If you want, what should be the qualification, what are the norms, during this year's approval process handbook, this would be made available in more detail, but essence is a person who has basic degree in engineering or management, depending on the curriculum in which you want to teach him, he must have minimum 10 to 15 years of experience. Otherwise, it cannot be that someone has graduated last year, he has joined an industry and you call him as an adjunct faculty. We want the rich experience of industry to come to the colleges, and therefore a minimum of about 10 years spending in the industry is important for becoming an adjunct faculty in this institute.
Sir, one question is, what is the last date for submission of ideas?
20. The last date for submission of ideas on this portal is 20th of January. We have still a lot of time. Please look at the problem statements. What excites you, please look into it, work on that, and then submit your proposal before 20th of January, so that we will be in a position to shortlist and call you to the centers where the hackathon is going to take place.
So there are 570 problem statements already listed. In connection with that, there is a question. Can they also work on their own new ideas in addition to whatever is listed?
I think we can have a section of miscellaneous ideas, and someone who has some very interesting problem statement, they can throw it open, and we will try to shortlist and see whether it makes sense, and then we will be in a position to take it.
There is already one section, citizens speak. Yeah.
There is only one problem statement.
Yeah, so,
There is only one problem statement which has come in this form, which is called Citizens Forum. I just announced number of problem statements. One problem statement has come in that category. But if there is an excellent idea, we would like to add more to that particular category of problem statements as well.
Sir, one more question. This is related to IP, and while we had gone for awareness workshops at different locations, the question was asked by many of the students and faculty, who the IP will be belonging to?
IP obviously belongs to the person who has developed that. So any student group which has solved that problem digitally during the hackathon will have ownership of the IP of that particular problem statement and its solution. Now, it is up to that government department and that student to interact later and further improve upon that solution, because this is the first cut solution. There would be a lot of refinement required, because in 36 hours, it is certainly not possible to get a very robust solution. So there can be further engagement, but we have committed that the students group which has started solving this problem will own the IP for that particular solution.
Sir, next question is it possible to have a common syllabus for all the engineering colleges and polytechnics?
I think this is often noted that whether there should be a common syllabus for across the country. AICTE on its part, for maintaining the standards of education, certainly from time to time, through its board of studies, develops the curriculum and announces it as a model curriculum. Now, when it is called as model curriculum, it is not very rigid curriculum. Institutions are expected to make use of this, but depending on the specialization that they would like to produce, depending on the area in which the college is existing, depending on what is the vision of the college, what outcome they want to achieve out of the graduates, they have every freedom to tweak with this model curriculum and have their own curriculum which is very close to this model curriculum. So if you ask me in terms of numbers, I would say ballpark figure that around 75 to 80% of the curriculum should be made use of from the model curriculum, but the remaining 20 to 25% one can make use of their own ingenuity, use their autonomy to have a curriculum which is slightly different from a model curriculum. Thereby, they will be able to contribute to the development of their region, locality. Maybe in a different state there is a different requirement. All those things can be taken care of by the respective universities and institutions.
Sir, one question is related to the number of centers. So we'll have approximately 25 plus minus 2, 3. And with regards to this nodal center, there is a question as to how can an institute become a nodal center?
In fact, we have thrown open this opportunity to colleges. Those who are interested in applying for becoming a center, they can apply to AICTE for becoming a center. And there is a list of requirements in terms of number of computers, facilities of hostel for accommodating the students, one day before they come, one day after they complete the hackathon, providing them support in terms of snacks, tea during that time, sufficient area, all that if it is available, they must make an application. They will get a lot of branding during this time, and therefore we welcome any institution which has all those facilities which are listed out can apply for becoming one of those centers, 25 centers.
Yeah. So there is a very interesting question now. Like we have Indian Administrative Services, Indian Railway Services, Indian Forest Services. Is there any initiative of AICTE with regards to having Indian education services in place in the country?
AICTE right now does not have anything concrete on this, but during the deliberations on new education policy which is being formulated, there has been talk about having a separate engineering services, like that education services as well. So once the new education policy is formulated, we will see what would be the content of that. But on the part of AICTE, we have been at it that we want to have faculty training programs both during induction as well as during in-service. One of the reasons is just after graduation, post-graduation, if someone comes to teaching, many nuances of teaching are not known, and today it is not teaching, we call it as learning process. Teaching is not important, learning is important, and therefore how can teacher become a person who will facilitate learning of students? And for that, some kind of training is required for teachers, and we are thinking of setting up an institution for training teachers when they are inducted into this profession of teaching. But not only that, after they complete 5 years, 10 years, there must be refresher courses, thereby what is changing in the technology, what is changing in the field, what is changing in the pedagogy needs to be understood by the faculty members. So in-service training is also required, and we are planning to have in the same setup faculty induction as well as faculty in-service training continue to be there. Thank you very much. Now I invite Dr. Jere to tell crisply about the current India Smart Hackathon. Thank you.
My dear friends, AICTE under the aegis of Ministry of HRD is starting a very good, has announced a very novel initiative of its kind, Smart India Hackathon 2017. So many of you might be thinking what hackathon is. Many of you might have been participated in the hackathon, but many of you might be very new to the concept. So in brief, shortly, hackathon means digital product development competition. And the competition is carried over a stipulated time frame. Our Smart India Hackathon will be a 36 hours competition. So it will start on a Saturday at 8:30 and will finish on Sunday at 8:30 in the evening, where the student starts with the concept for solving a problem, work for about 36 hours. It's a team of students, and at the end of 36 hours, your product has to work. At least some features of the product has to work. So why we are doing this initiative? The main reason for doing this initiative is how we can connect our youth with our national development. How we can harvest the ideas, the creativity of our young minds to solve the problems faced by our nation. So what we did, we went to various ministries, as Professor Sahasrabudhe said, sat with them, worked with them for about 4 months or so, identified the problem statements. And now we are using these problem statements to challenge our young mind, to identify the solution for it, to suggest a novel solution for it, and then we will ask some of the teams to actually go ahead and develop that solution for it. So, here, what we expect students to go on website innovate.mygov.in. INNOVATE innovate.mygov, MYGOV.in. You will see list of problem statements. Select the problem statement based on your whims and fancies. You can select whatever you want. Just select one problem statement. Then go ahead and form your team. It has to be a 6-member team, out of which one has to be a girl. So go ahead, select a problem statement, form a team, 6-member team, out of which one has to be a girl. but we are fine with all 6 girls in a team. Then create a proposal. The template is already there. It's a 4-sided template for submitting your idea, your approach on how you wish to solve the problem. So submit that template, that your formal entry in that format only, and our judging panel or our jury members will look into it, and only the top 10% or 15% entries will actually be selected for final hackathon. So in India, there are about 6,500 colleges which work in area of IT and technology. And as a result of that, we are only restricting 3 entries per college. So we are expecting about 15,000 entries for the Smart India Hackathon, out of which we will select somewhere between 1,200 to 1,500 entries, means 1 entry with 6 students, so 1,500 into 6. That's what we are looking at. And these teams will be asked to go to various locations to do hackathon. There will be a lot of training, there will be a lot of mentorship before the hackathon also. So if you have a good concept, go ahead and apply in that format. The last date for application is 20th of January. We are going, me, Dr. Malkade, Dr. Saswabudhe sir, we are traveling across India for doing awareness sessions about the Smart India Hackathon, where we talk elaborately about the entire process. We are engaging with students in big way. But you can also reach out to us through those awareness sessions or write to us, and our email ID is idea @I4C, then numerical 4, then alphabet C, I4C, .co.in, idea@I4C.co.in. So if you have any queries, write to us. We have also created videos, and on innovate.mygov.in, you can see those videos about how you can go ahead and apply, what will be the selection procedure, FAQs about how the entire process will span out, and things like that. So if you wish, I will just hold it on. Yeah. I don't know whether... Can you focus? No. Okay. So this is the basic about Smart India Hackathon. The reason we are doing this Smart India Hackathon is because you will get. So you might have to go there, sir.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, this is okay now.
So I will give you a very grave statistics and why we believe this Smart India Hackathon is very important for us. According to the basic statistics from AICTE, there are about 30 lakh students working in area of technology. 30 lakh students. And during the course of time, or during their entire course, they have to do projects. Diploma students do 3-month projects, degree students do 6 months projects, and PhD or UG, MTech and ME students do about 1 year of project. So if we have to do just back of the envelope calculation and how much time our students are actually spending on projects, it is 30 lakh divided by 4 because if we consider 4-year course. And because if we just say for a ballpark number 6 months of projects, so divided by 2 if you have to convert it to man years. So it is about 3.5 lakh man years of our youngsters getting investment in doing projects. But what is the outcome of those projects? Hardly anything. A lot of copy pasting is happening. Even there are some shops outside which are selling projects. Or we go to our seniors, or or Professor Google is always there to help us. Right? So we are actually exploring whether we can use 10, 15, 20% of that creativity for nation building. And students will get a lot of things. Students will get ability to work or for the first time opportunity to work on live projects. Then, because the problem will be given to them, they will actually go through the entire motion of product development, from what should be the architecture, what should be the approach, what should be the technology stack, how they should go ahead and test it. And they will certainly become much better technocrats. The third most important thing is that if you build a product, somebody is going to use it. Apart from that, you will actually get a lot of recognition, fame, because media is going to cover this in a big way. Your name will get announced on MyGov site, and you will also get a lot of prizes. If your idea is good, beyond this, the entire startup ecosystem will take care of you. AICTE is actually working on that. Apart from that, we have NASSCOM. They have 10,000 startup program, and many of the projects selected from this hackathon will get into the startup program. So, we are trying to create an entire ecosystem from generating an idea, creating a prototype. For creating the prototype, actually mentoring the students, handholding the students. If the idea is good, then convert it into a startup with help of other organizations. So AICTE is ready to fund some of these initiatives. Apart from AICTE, we have institutions like DST, DBT, ICMR. They themselves have put up problem statements. And in our discussions, they are ready actually to fund some of these problem statements if the ideas are good. So please go ahead, look at the problem statements on innovate.mygov.in, select the problem statement, form your team and apply. We wish to see 3 teams from each of our colleges in the remotest part of India to join us. And whenever we will be now going across India, talking about this, for interacting with students, we will announce our schedule well in advance on our Facebook page, and you can join us, and we are ready there to solve your problems. So we are very soon coming to your town, but be ready with your questions so that you will not miss the deadline. So thank you very much. Once again. And as I said, please write to us whom you want to listen to, and we will certainly try to reach out to them and explore whether we can get those speakers for you. Thank you very much. So we will now disconnect. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for joining. Look out for our new announcement related to next talk. Probably there is a probably next time Honorable HRD Minister Sri Prakash Javadekar himself will join, which we will telecast live. Thank you very much.